We've been expecting you, Mr. Harker.
Are you sure Miss Lucy's no worse?
Just the same, sir.
Oh, John.
Dr. Stewart, what is it? Why have you sent for me?
My dear John, I told you my wire there was nothing new.
You said no change, don't worry, but to come at once.
And you lost no time.
I jumped in the car and burned up the road from London. Oh, Doctor, surely there must be something more we can do for Lucy. I'd give my life gladly if it would save her.
I'm sure you would, my boy. You love her with the warm blood of youth. But don't forget, I love my daughter too. She's all I have. You must see that nothing medical science can suggest has been left undone.
Medical science couldn't do much for Mina. Poor Mina.
Yes, poor Mina. She died after the same incredible symptoms that my Lucy has developed.
My Lucy, too.
Our Lucy, then.
Good God, what was that?
Only Renfield, a patient of mine.
But you never keep violent patients in your sanatorium. Lucy mustn't be compelled to listen to raving madmen.
I quite agree. I'm going to have him sent away. Until just lately, he was always quiet. I'll be sorry to lose him.
What?
An unusual case, zoophagous.
What's that?
A life-eating maniac.
What?
Yes, he thinks that by absorbing lives, he can prolong his own life.
Good Lord.
Catches flies and eats them. And by way of change, he feeds the flies to spiders, fattens them up, and then he eats the spiders.
Good God, how disgusting. But tell me about Lucy. Why have you sent for me?
Yesterday, I wired to Holland from my old friend, Van Helsing. She'll be here soon. The car's gone down to the station for her now. I'm going to turn Lucy's case over to her.
Another specialist on anemia?
No, my boy. Whatever this may be, it's not anemia. And this woman who speaks a dozen languages, as well as her own, knows more about mysterious diseases than anyone alive.
Heaven knows it's mysterious enough, but surely the symptoms are clear.
So are poor Mina's. Perfectly clear. There they are. At it again. Every dog for a mile around.
They seem howls of terror.
I've heard that chorus every night since Mina fell ill.
When I was traveling in Russia and the dogs in the village barked that way, the natives always said wolves were prowling about.
I hardly think you'd find wolves prowling around Purley, 20 miles from London.
Yet your old house might be in the wilderness. Nothing in sight except that place Carfax that Count Dracula has taken.
Your friend the Count came in again last evening.
He's no friend of mine.
Don't say that. He knows that you and I gave our blood for Lucy as well as for Mina. And he's offered to undergo transfusion himself if we need another volunteer.
By Jove, that's sporting of him. I see I've misjudged him.
He seems genuinely interested in Lucy. If you were a young man, I'd...
What?
But his whole attitude shows that it isn't that. We need sympathy in this house, John, and I'm grateful for it.
So am I. Anyone who offers to help Lucy can have anything I've got.
Well, I think he does help Lucy. She always seems cheered up when he comes.
That's fine. May I go to Lucy now?
We'll go together. That must be Van Helsing. You go ahead, and I'll come presently.
Professor Van Helsing.
Ah, my dear Van Helsing, I can never repay you for this.
But only a daughter, but only a patient of yours instead of your daughter I still would have come. You've once rendered me a service.
Oh, don't speak of that. You'd have done it for me. Let me give you something to eat.
Lie down on the boat train. I do not waste time if there's work to do.
Ah, Van Helsing, you cast the old spell on me. I lean on you before you've been 2 minutes in my house.
You wrote up your daughter's symptoms. Tell me more of the other young lady, the one who died.
Ah, poor Mina Weston. She was a girl just Lucy's age. They were inseparable. She was on a visit here when she fell ill. As I wrote you, she grew weaker. Day by day, she wasted away. But there are no anemic symptoms. Her blood was normal when analyzed.
You said you performed transfusion.
Yes, Sir William Briggs ordered that. You see this mark here? Well, Lucy herself and her fiancé, John Harker, gave their blood as well.
And so, 3 transfusions and the effect.
Ah, she rallied after each. The color returned to her cheeks. But the next morning, she'd be pale and weak again. She complained of bad dreams. 10 days ago, we found her in a stupor from which nothing could rouse her. She died.
And the other symptoms?
None except those 2 little marks in the throat that I wrote you about.
And which perhaps brought me here so quickly. What were they like?
Just 2 little white dots with red centers. We decided she must have run a safety pin through the skin of her throat, trying in her delirium to fasten a scarf or shawl.
Perhaps. And your daughter's symptoms are the same.
Precisely. She too speaks of bad dreams. Van Helsing, you've lived in the tropics. May this not be something alien to our medical experience in England?
It may indeed, my friend.
Renfield! How did you get out of
Who
here?
is this man?
What of my patients? This is gross carelessness.
Did you hear us talking?
Words, words, words.
Come, come, Renfield. You know you mustn't wander about this way. How did you get out of your room?
Wouldn't you like to know?
How were the flies? Mr. Renfield makes a hobby of eating flies. I'm afraid you eat spiders too sometimes, don't you, Renfield?
Will you walk into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. Excuse me, doctor, but you have not introduced me to your friend.
Come, come, Renfield.
Humor him, humor him.
Tell the attendant to come here at once.
Yes, sir.
Oh, very well. Professor Van Helsing, Mr. Renfield, patient of mine.
Ah, who does not know of Van Helsing? Your work, madam, in investigating certain obscure diseases not altogether unconnected with forces and powers that the ignorant herd does not believe exist, has won you a position that posterity will recognize.
Butterworth, you've let your patient leave his room again.
Blimey, sir, I locked the door on him, and I've got the key in my pocket now.
But this is the second time. Only last night you let him escape, and he tried to break into Count Dracula's house, across the ground.
He didn't get out the door this time, sir. It's a drop of 30 feet out the windows. He's just a bloomin' eel. Now you come with me.
Renfield, if this happens again, you'll get no more sugar to spit out for your flies.
Flies? What do I care for flies now? Flies. A low form of life. Beneath my notice. I don't care a pin about flies.
Oh, don't you? Any more of your tricks, and I'll take your new spider away.
Oh, no. No, please, please, dear Mr. Butterworth, please don't take my spider. He's getting so nice and fat. When he's had just another dozen flies, he'll be just right. Just right.
Come, Mr. Renfield. What makes you want to eat flies?
The wings of a fly, my dear, typify the aerial powers of the psychic faculties.
Butterworth, take him to his room.
One moment, my friend. And the spiders.
Professor, can you tell me how that one great spider lived for centuries in the tower of that old Spanish church and grew and grew? He never ate, but he drank. And he drank. He would come down at night and drink all the oil out of the church lamps.
Butterworth,
One moment. Dr. Seward, I want you to send me away. Now, tonight, in a straight waistcoat. Chain me so I can't escape. This is a sanatorium, not a lunatic asylum. This is no place for me. My cries will disturb Miss Lucy, who is ill. They will give your daughter bad dreams, Dr. Seward. Bad dreams.
we'll see about all this in the morning.
Why are you so anxious to go?
I'll tell you, not that fool Seward. He wouldn't understand, but you... No, I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't.
What was that?
It was a bat. Only a bat. Do you know that in some islands of the eastern seas, there are bats that hang on the trees all night? And when the heat is stifling and the sailors sleep on the decks in those harbors, in the mornings they have found dead men, white. Even as Miss Mina was.
What do you know of Miss Mina? Take him to his room.
Please. Why are you so anxious to be moved from
To
here?
save myself.
Yes?
Oh, you'll get nothing more out of me than that. And I'm not so sure I'd rather stay. After all, what is my soul good for? Is not what I am to receive worth the loss of my soul?
What's got him thinking about souls? Have you the souls of those flies and spiders?
I forbid you to bring me about souls! I don't want their souls! All I want is the life! The blood is the life.
So?
That's in the Bible. But what use are souls to me? I can't eat them or...
Drink?
You know too much to live, Professor! I'll go quietly. I want you to send me away, Dr. Seward. And if you don't, you must pay for my soul before the judgment seat of God!
My friend, you're not hurt.
No.
My deepest apologies. You'll think my place shockingly managed. What was your herb that excited him so?
Wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane? What's that? I thought he knew other drugs in the pharmacopoeia.
One is the Amaphytes. Pliny the Elder mentions a plant. It grows only in the wilds of Central Russia.
But why did you bring it with you?
It's a form of preventive medicine.
Well, we live and learn. I never heard of it.
Stuart, I want you to have this lunatic securely watched.
Anything you say, Doctor. But it's my Lucy I want you to look after first.
I want to keep this man under observation.
An interesting maniac, no doubt. But surely you see my daughter.
I must seize the records of his case.
But Doctor!
Do you think I have forgotten why I'm here?
Forgive me. Of course I'll show you the records. They're in the sanatorium. But I don't understand why you're so curious about Renfield. Because of your vast experience.
Why, I thought they were here, Lucy.
John, do you think this new doctor will be any better than the others?
I'm sure she will. Anyway, now that I'm back, I'm going to stay with you until you get over this thing.
Oh, John, but can you? Your work in town.
You come first.
Don't think you better stay, John. Sometimes I feel that I want to be alone.
Lucy, how can you say you don't be with you when you're so ill? You love me, don't you?
Oh, yes, John, with all my soul.
Well, just as soon as you're well enough, I'm going to take you away. We'll be married next month. We won't wait till June. We'll extend our honeymoon month to 3 months, and the house will be ready in July.
John, do you think we could?
Of course, why not? Mother wants us to wait, but she'll understand. You know, I just want to take you away. Lucy, why do you shrink when I kiss you? You're so cold. Lucy, you're so cold now.
Forgive me, dear. I'm yours. All yours. John, I'm so tired. So tired.
Lucy, dear, this is my old friend, Professor Van Helsing.
Ah, Miss Seward. You don't remember poor old Van Helsing. I knew you when you were a little girl, so high. And now but charm, but beauty. A little pale, yes, but we will bring the roses back to the cheeks.
You were so kind to come, Professor.
And this, no doubt, is the fortunate young man you ought to marry.
Yes, John Harker, Professor.
Look here, Professor, I'm not going to get in your way. But if Dr. Seward will have me, I'm going to make him give me a bed here until Lucy gets over this thing. It's absolute hell being away, and of course I can't do any work.
You're most welcome to stay, my boy.
Indeed, yes, I should have asked you to stay. Now lie back, so. And tell me, when did this weakness first come upon you?
2 nights after Paulina was buried, I had a bad dream.
A bad dream? Tell me about it.
I remember hearing dogs barking before I went to sleep. The air seemed oppressive. I left my reading lamp lit by my bed. But when the dream came, there seemed to come a mist in the room.
Was your window open?
Yes, I always sleep with my window open.
Oh, of course, you're English. We Continentals are not so particular about fresh air. And then?
The mist seemed so thick I could just see the lamp by my bed. There was a tiny spark in the fog, and then I saw 2 red eyes staring at me and a livid white face looking down at me out of the mist. It was horrible, horrible.
There. Go on, please.
Next morning, my maid could scarcely wake me. I felt weak and languid. Some parts of my life seemed to have gone from me.
Have there been other such dreams?
Nearly every night since then has come the mist. The red eyes and that awful face.
We've tried transfusion twice. Each time she recovered her strength.
Then would come another dream. Now I dread the night. I know it seems absurd, Professor, but please don't laugh at me.
Oh, I'm not likely to laugh. And let me take a look at your neck.
No, please!
And how long have you had these 2 marks on your throat?
Since that first morning.
Lucy, why didn't you tell us?
Lucy, you've worn that scarf around your throat to hide them.
Do not press her. Do not excite her. Well?
I was afraid they'd worry you, if I knew that Mina had them.
Quite right, Miss Lucy, quite right. Then nothing, and old Van Helsing will see that these dreams trouble you no more. Count Dracula.
Ah, good evening, Count.
Gentlemen. Ah, Miss Seward, how are you? You're looking more yourself this evening.
I feel better already, Count. Now that Father's old friend has come to help me.
Professor Van Helsing, Count Dracula.
A most distinguished scientist, whose name we know even in the wilds of Transylvania. But I interrupt consultation.
Not at all, Count. It's good of you to come. We appreciate your motives.
Dr. Seward just told me of your offer. I can't thank you enough.
It is nothing. I should be grateful to be permitted to help Miss Lucy in any way.
But you do, Count. I look forward to your visits. They seem to make me better.
And so I arrived to find a rival in the field.
You encourage me, Miss Seward, to make them more frequent, as I should like to.
I'm always glad to see you.
Ah, but you have been lonely here, and my efforts to amuse you with our old tales will no longer have the same success, now that Professor Van Helsing is staying with you, especially now that Mr. Harker is to remain here.
How'd you know I was going to stay, Count?
Can the gallant lover ask such a question? I inferred it, my friend.
You're right. Nothing's going to turn me now until Lucy's fit as a fiddle again.
Nothing.
Please come as before, Count. Won't you?
You understand you are not to answer bells. She must not be alone at any moment under any circumstances. You understand?
Yes, Mom.
Good. Your maid will take you to your room. Try to rest for a little while I talk to your father.
Remember, Wells, don't leave her alone for a moment.
Oh, no, sir.
Professor Van Helsing. So you have come from the land of the tulip to cure the nervous prostration of this charming girl. I wish you all the success.
Thank you.
Do I appear officious, Dr. Seward? I am a lonely man. You are my only neighbors when I am here at Carfax, and your trouble has touched me greatly.
I am more grateful for your sympathy than I can say, Count.
You, like myself, are a stranger in England, Count.
Yes, but I love England in the great London. So different from my own Transylvania, where there are so few people and so little opportunity.
Opportunity, Count.
For my investigations, Professor.
I hope you haven't regretted buying that old ruin across there.
Oh, Carfax is not a ruin. The dust was somewhat deep, but we are used to dust in Transylvania.
Do you plan to remain in England, Count?
I think so, my friend. The walls of my castle are broken, shadows are many, and I am the last of my race.
That's a lonely spot you've chosen, Carfax.
It is, and when I hear the dogs howling near and far, I think myself back in my castle Dracula, with its broken battlements.
Yeah, the dogs do howl there when there are wolves about, don't they?
They do, my friend, and they howl here as well, although there are no wolves. But you wish to consult the anxious father and the great specialist. May I read a book in the study? I am so anxious to hear what the professor has to say, and learn if I can be of any help.
Oh, by all means, Count. Very kind of Dracula, his damned untimely friendliness. But now what about my daughter?
Yes, Professor. What do you think is the matter with Lucy?
Your patient. That interesting Renfield does not like the smell of wolfsbane.
Good heavens, but what has that got to do with Lucy?
Perhaps nothing.
In God's name, Professor, is there anything unnatural or unoccult about this business?
Occult? Oh, Van Helsing.
Ah, Seward. Let me remind you that the superstitions of today are the scientific facts of tomorrow. Science can now transmute the electrons, the basis of all matter, into energy. And what is that but the dematerialization of matter? Yet dematerialization has been known and practiced in India for centuries. And Java, I myself have seen things.
My dear old friend, you can't have filled up your fine old brain with Eastern moonshine.
Moonshine?
But anyway, come now. What about my daughter?
Ah, Seward. If you won't listen to what will be harder to believe than any Eastern moonshine, if you won't forget your textbooks, keep an open mind then, Seward. Your daughter's life may pay for your pig-headedness.
Go on, Professor.
I am listening.
So I must ask you to listen calmly to what I'm going to say. Sit down. You've both heard the legends of Central Europe about the werewolves, the vampires.
You mean ghosts who suck the blood of the living?
If you wish to call them ghosts, I call them the undead.
Are you suggesting that Mina and now Lucy?
Oh, of course. I've read these horrible folk tales of the Middle Ages, Van Helsing. But I know you better than to suppose.
Did I believe them? I do believe them.
You mean to say that vampires actually exist? And that Mina and Lucy have been attacked by one?
Your English doctors would all laugh at such a theory. Your police, your public would laugh. The strength of the vampire is that no one will believe in him.
Is this the help you bring us?
Do not despise it.
Doctor, this case has stumped all your specialists. Go on, Professor.
Vampires are rare. Nature pours them. The forces of good combine to destroy them. Yet a few of these creatures have lived on for centuries.
But what is a vampire?
A vampire, my friend, is a man or a woman who is dead, and yet not dead. A thing that lives after its death by drinking the blood of the living. It must have blood or it dies. Its strength lasts only from sunset to sunrise. During the hours of the day, it must rest in the earth in which it was buried. But during the night, it has the power to prey upon the living. My friend, you are thinking you must put me amongst your patients.
Oh, I don't know what to think. But I confess, I simply can't follow you.
What makes you think Lucy's been attacked by such a creature?
Dr. Seward's written account at once aroused my suspicion. Anemia? The blood of 3 men was forced into Miss Mina's veins, yet she died from loss of blood. Where did it go? Had your specialist any answer? The vampire attacks his throat. He leaves 2 little wounds, virus red centers. Dr. Seward, you wrote me of these marks on Miss Mina's throat. And that's if it's a safety pin, you said. So I saw it. I suspected. I did not know, but I came on the instant. And what do I find? But these same marks on Miss Lucy's throat. Another safety pin, Dr. Seward.
Do you mean to say that you built up all this nightmare out of a safety pin? It's true, I can't figure out why she hid those marks from us.
I could tell you that.
What? I don't believe it. Of course Lucy's trouble can't be that.
I do believe it. This theory accounts for all the facts nobody's been able to explain. We'll take her away from here where this thing can't get at her.
She will not want to go.
What?
If you force her, the shock may be fatal.
Why won't she go if we tell her her life depends on it?
Because the victim of the vampire becomes his creature, linked to him in life and after death.
Oh, Professor, this is too much.
Lucy, an unclean thing? A demon?
Yes, Harker. Now will you help me?
Yes, anything. Tell me what to do.
It is dangerous work. Our lives are at stake, but so is Miss Lucy's life. So is her soul. We must stamp out this monster.
How can we stamp it out now?
This undead thing lies helpless in the earth in which it was buried.
A corpse in a coffin?
A corpse, if you wish, but a living corpse. Sustained by the blood of the living. If we can find its home, a stake driven through the heart destroys the vampire. But this is our task. In such a case, your police, all the powers of society are as helpless as the doctors. What bars or chains could hold up creatures that can turn into a wolf or a bat?
The wolf, Dr. Seward, those dogs howling. I told you they howl that way in Russia, wolves are about. And the bat, Renfield said there's a bat.
Well, what of it?
Your patient, that interesting Renfield, does not like the smell of wolfsbane.
But what in the world does your wolfsbane to do with all this?
A vampire cannot stand the smell of wolfsbane.
You suspect that lunatic?
I suspect no one and everyone. Tell me, who is this Count Dracula?
Dracula? We really know very little about him.
When I was in Transylvania, I heard of a famous Castle Dracula. A voivode Dracula who fought the Turks. He lived there centuries ago.
I will make inquiries by telegraph. No. But this thing, after all, must be English, or at least have died here. His lair must be near enough to his house so that he can return there before sunrise. Oh, my friends, I but see old belief with it to fight this monster. It has the strength of 20 men, and perhaps the accumulated wisdom and cunning of centuries.
This all seems nightmare, Professor, but I'm with you.
And you, Dr. Seward.
It all seems preposterous to me, but everyone else has failed. The case is in your hands at present.
I need allies, not neutrals.
Very well then, do what you will.
Good. Bring your daughter here.
What are you going to do?
To set a trap. Miss Lucy is the bait.
My God, we can't let you do that.
There's no other way. I believe this thing knows that I plan to protect Miss Lucy. This will no doubt put it on its guard, and the first moment she is alone, it will no doubt try to get at her. For it must have blood or its life and death ceases.
No, I forbid this.
She's my daughter, and I consent. We'll show the professor she's mistaken.
You allow it because you don't believe. I do believe. My God, Doctor, I've heard this thing laugh. Life-eating you said he was. And you subject Lucy to that risk.
I must be in charge here, or I can do nothing. I must know in what forms this thing comes before I can plan how to stamp it out. Bring your daughter here.
Excuse me, miss, is Dr. Seward here?
What do you want with him?
Oh, flycatchers escaped again, ma'am.
Escaped? How?
Go blimey out the window. The door's still locked, and I was in the corridor all the while. It's a drop of 30 feet to the stone flagging. That loony's a bloomin' flying squirrel, he is.
Say nothing to Dr. Seward at present. Nothing, do you hear? Now go.
It's all right, Lucy. You have nothing to fear.
I want you to lie down here, my dear. But doctor, you trust me, do you not? I want you to lie down here for a little.
But I'm so frightened.
Make your mind passive. Try not to think. Sleep if you can.
I dare not sleep. It is when I sleep.
I know, my dear, I know. I'm going to cure you with God's help.
Oh, but Father.
You must do as the professor says. Come, Harker.
Come, Harker.
Lucy, Lucy!
Professor, what is it?
Did you see anything?
Lucy, speak to me!
Take her to her room, Harker, quickly.
The patient is better, I hope.
Excuse me, miss. Have you seen anything of the governor's pet loony? He's out again, he is.
What would he be doing here? If you not hold your job, you won't. If you can't keep that man safe and sound, why, he gets out every night.
Don't go, miss.
Miss Lucy's asked for the evening paper. Well, have you found him?
No, I haven't. And I'll tell you, miss, this job is fair getting on my nerves.
Your nerves? And what about my nerves? Isn't it enough to have dogs howling every night and foreign counts bobbing up out of the floor, and Miss Lucy taking on the way she does with everybody having their veins drained of blood for her, and there's such Sherlock Holmes with the X-ray eyes about, without you letting that Renfield loose?
Well, I haven't let him loose. Just now I hears a noise like a wolf howling. I opens his door with me key, and what do I see but his legs going through the window, as he was going to climb down that smooth wall. He ain't human, he ain't.
Climb down the wall?
I don't expect no one to believe it, but I seen it. And what's more, I grabbed hold of his feet, I did.
Climbing down, head first like a bat?
Queer you mention of bats. Well, just as I grabbed hold of him, a big bat flies in the window and hits me in the face.
I know where that bat came from.
You do? Where?
Out of your belfry.
No, miss, it's God's truth, I'm telling you. Out that bat flies and that loony's gone. But I heard him laughing. God, what a laugh. Blimey, but I'll catch it from the governor for this.
You tell the governor any such tales and he'll shut you up with the loony.
Lord, miss, you're a smart one. That's just what I've been thinking. And I daren't tell him what I seen or what I heard. But he's harmless, this bloke.
Wouldn't hit a fly, would he?
Ate a fly? No, not he. He only eats them. Why, he'd rather eat a few blue bottles than a pound of the best steak. And what he does to spiders is a crime.
Seems to me somebody will be coming after you in a minute. You and your spiders.
I say, miss, this is a queer neighborhood. Don't you ever feel a bit lonesome like? Out there on your nights off?
Just lately I have a bit. I never noticed the trees had such shadows before.
Well, if you feel you'd like an escort, miss.
I'll not walk with you in your uniform. You might be taking me for one of your loonies.
In mufti then, tomorrow night.
I say, you haven't wasted much time, have you?
I've had my eye on you.
Better keep that eye on your loony or you'll be looking for a new job. Hey, you buzz off! Your governor will be in any minute. Go find your loony.
Hey, all right. But I've got something here that'll tempt him back to his room.
Why, what's that?
Oh, this here. Come on, Cuthbert. We ain't too popular. Some people have no sense of humor.
What was that?
Hans, he frightened me with that animal.
Animal? What animal?
A white mouse, sir.
You mustn't scream. Not in this house now.
I'm sorry, sir, but that nasty little beast.
But you alarm Miss Lucy so. She's dreadfully upset as it is by something in the paper.
Oh, do you mean about the Hampstead horror? About the lady in white who gives chocolates to little children?
Never mind that. But I will not have Miss Lucy disturbed.
Forgive me. My footfall is not heavy, and your rugs are soft.
All right, sir. But how did you get in?
The door of this room was ajar, so I did not knock. How is Miss Lucy and her nervous prostration?
Well, I think she's better, sir.
Ah, good. But the strain of Miss Lucy's illness has made you also ill.
How did you know, sir? Oh, but it's only a pain in the head that runs into the neck.
I can remove this pain.
I don't understand, sir.
Such pains yield readily to suggestions.
Excuse me, sir, but if it's hypnotism you mean, I'd rather have the pain.
Ah, you think of hypnotism as an ugly waving of the arms and many passes. That is not my method. What is given can be taken away. From now on you have no pain and you have no will of your own. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
When you awake, you will not remember what I say. Dr. Seward ordered you today to sleep with your mistress every night in the same bed because of her bad dreams. Is it not so?
Yes, master.
Your mistress is threatened by horror and by death, but I will save her. A woman whose will is at cross purposes with mine has come into this house. I will crush her. Receive your orders. Do you hear me?
Yes, master.
Hear and obey. From now on, you will carry out any suggestion that reaches you from my brain instantly, without question. When I will you to do a thing, it shall be done. My call will reach you soon.
You've not left your mistress alone.
Dr. Seward is with her, Mum.
What's wrong with you, my girl?
It's nothing, Mum.
You've just had a severe shock.
It's nothing, Mum. I suddenly felt strange. I can't remember anything.
Mr. Harker has just arrived. Ask Dr. Seward to come here and remain with Miss Lucy yourself.
Yes, Mum. She's dreadfully upset, Mum.
Upset? Over what?
It's in the paper. About the Hampstead horror? Yes, Mum.
Oh, God, she has seen it.
Everything just the same. When I leave this house, even for a few hours, I dread what I may find when I come back.
Well, you may, my friend.
God must have sent you here to help us. Without you, there'd be no hope. And Professor, this morning, when you opened your veins, you revived Lucy again.
It was the least I could do. My lack of foresight was responsible for this attack.
Don't say that.
Her maid slept with her, and yet we found the Volksbane thrown off the bed to the floor.
She was so weak and pale, and those two little wounds opened fresh again.
I prepared a stronger defense. But our main task is not defense, but attack. What have you found in London?
A lot. But heaven knows what it means or whether it's any use.
I too have had news of which I can make nothing.
Oh, John, back from town.
Yes.
We must try to piece together what we have learned today. My colleague in Bucharest advises the Dracula family has been extinct for 500 years.
Can the Count be an imposter?
The castle he calls his own is a desolate ruin near the border. It was built, as you said, Harker, by the terrible voivode Dracula, who is said to have had dealings with evil spirits. He was the last of his race, but for generations, the peasants have believed the castle Dracula inhabited by a vampire.
Then it must be he.
My friends, I'm bewildered.
But surely this confirms your suspicions. I was incredulous until I saw that creature hovering over Lucy.
But a vampire from Transylvania cannot be in England.
But why?
Because, as I have told you, the vampire must rest in the earth in which it was buried.
In the earth.
He must return there before sunrise.
I found today that Dracula had arrived at the Croydon Air Dome in a 3-engine German plane on March the 6th.
March the 6th. 3 days before Mina first fell ill.
It had made a non-stop flight from Seckley, Transylvania. It left just after sunset and arrived a few hours before dawn. It carried only the Count and 6 packing cases.
Did you learn what was in those cases?
He told the customs people he wanted to see whether Transylvania plants could grow in a foreign climate, in their native soil.
Soil? What was in those boxes?
Just plain dirt. He left in a lorry with the 6 coffin-like boxes before sunrise.
Oh, God, yes, before sunrise. The king of vampires, my friends. This creature is the terrible voivode Dracula himself. In his satanic pride and contempt, he even uses his own name. For who could suspect? For 500 years, he has been feted to his castle because he must rest by day in the earth in which he was buried. 5 centuries pass. The aeroplane is invented. His chance has come, for now he can cross Europe in a single night. He has prepared 6 coffins filled with the earth in which he was buried. He leaves his castle after sunset. By dawn, he is in London and safe in front of his packing cases. A great risk, but he has triumphed. He has reached London with its teeming millions. With its opportunity, as he said.
Oh, God, protect my Lucy.
I saw the estate agent from whom he had bought Carfax here and got the address of 4 old houses he has leased in different parts of London.
One of his packing cases is in each of those 4 houses.
2 heavy boxes were delivered at Carfax the day after he took possession.
He has scattered them for safety. If we can find all 6, we can destroy him.
But how?
His native earth will no longer receive his unclean form if each box is sanctified as holy water.
Then we must find those boxes and tear them open one by one. And Professor, if we find him, I demand that I drive the stake in the devil's heart and send his soul to hell.
Your plan is too dangerous.
But why? These attacks on Lucy continue. Are we to delay when my child is dying?
No, not for a moment.
Patience, my friends. This creature is more than mortal. How if we find 5 of the boxes and close them against him and cannot find the 6th?
Well?
Then he will close himself in his last box, where we can never find him, and sleep until we are all dead.
Lucy will be safe.
For her life, yes. But his unclean kisses claimed her for his own. When she dies, she'll become as he is, a foul thing as the night. The vampire can wait. No, my friends, there is only one way to save her from him, to destroy him.
You're right, as always.
We have one great advantage. By day, he's a coffin corpse. Of our search by day, he can know nothing if we leave no traces.
God, this delay.
We will make the rounds of his houses and find all 6 boxes without his knowledge, and then we act.
But what about the caretakers or servants?
All his houses will be empty. The vampire plays a lone hand. He's been here all the time we've been talking.
Did you hear what you were saying, man?
Yes, I had something. Enough. Be guided by what she says. It is your only hope. It is her only hope. It is my only hope. Save my soul, save my soul. I am weak, you are strong. I am crazy, you are sane. You are good and he is evil.
I will help you, Renfield, but you must tell me what you know. Everything.
No? What should I know? I don't know anything. You say I'm mad, and Dr. Seward will tell you about that. You mustn't pay any attention to anything I say.
You can't waste time with this fellow. I have him taken away.
Fool! Fool, I thought you were wise. The whole world is mad right now, and if you want a little help, you must come to a madman to get it. But I'll not give it to you, I'm afraid. A wise madman will obey him who is strong, and not the weak.
Him? Whom do you mean?
Need we mention names among friends? Come, Professor, be reasonable. What have I got to gain by being on your side? The doctor keeps me locked up all day, and if I'm good, he gives me a little sugar to spread out for my flies. On the other hand, if I serve him...
The blood is a life, eh, Renfield? What have you to do with Count Dracula?
Dracula? I never heard the name before.
You are lying!
Madman, Professor, lack the power to discriminate between truth and falsehood. So I take no offense at what most men would consider to be an affront. Send me away! Send me away! When I asked you to before, you wouldn't. If you only knew what has happened since then. Oh, I dare not tell you more, I dare not! I should die in torment if I betray.
Dr. Seward will send you away if you speak.
Yes, Renfield. I offer you your soul in exchange for what you know.
God will not damn a poor lunatic soul! God knows the devil is too strong for those of us who have weak minds. But send me away, I want you to promise, Dr. Seward.
If you will speak.
Come, Renfield.
I will tell you. Count Dracula is... No! I didn't say anything! I told him nothing! I am loyal to you! I'm your slave!
There's a big bat flying in the circle.
What's that? Just passing that small shrub. It looks like a big gray dog.
Are you sure it was a dog?
Oh, it might easily be a wolf. But that's nonsense. Our nerves are just making us see things.
Come, Renfield. What were you going to say?
Nothing! Nothing!
Professor, have you seen what...
Are you Miss Seward?
I am.
Then in the name of the merciful and compassionate God, leave this place at once!
This is my home. Nothing would induce me to leave.
Oh, that's true. You wouldn't go if they tried to drag you away, now would you? It's too late. What a fool I am! I shall be punished for this and it can't do any good! It's too late. You are so young, so beautiful, so pure. Even I have decent feelings sometimes, and I must tell you that if you don't go, your soul will pay for it. You're in the power of... The master is at hand!
That'll work.
Goodbye, Miss Seward! And since you will not heed my warning, I pray God I may never see your face again!
Professor, why did he say that? What did he mean? Why did he say that? Why?
That crazy thing in league with the devil. Horrible, and Lucy upset as it is by something in the paper.
Go on and get that paper from her.
Whatever it is, she keeps reading that article again and again.
Take it away from her, man, and come back to me.
Don't overdo it, Van Helsing. God knows where we should be if you went under. After a transfusion operation at your age, you really ought to be in bed. The loss of so much blood is serious.
I've never felt more fit in my life.
I only ask you not to overestimate your strength now when we lean on you. Feeling fit, are you? Just look at yourself in the glass.
That devil!
Come. Not as bad as that.
I did not hear you, Count.
I am often told that I have a light footstep.
I was looking in the mirror. Its reflection covers the whole room, but I cannot see.
Forgive me. I dislike mirrors. They are the playthings of man's vanity. And how's the fair patient?
The diagnosis presents difficulty.
I feared it might, my friend.
But you care to see what I have prescribed for my patient.
Anything you have prescribed for Miss Lucy has the greatest interest for me.
The prescription is a most unusual one.
The cut is not deep.
No, but it will serve. Here's my medicine for Miss Lucy. You do not care for the smell.
You are wise, Professor, for one who has not yet lived a single lifetime.
You flatter me, Count.
But not wise enough to return to Holland at once, now that you have learned what you have learned.
I prefer to remain, although a certain lunatic here attempted to kill me.
Lunatics are difficult. They do not do what they are told. They even try to betray their benefactors. But when servants fail to obey orders, the master must carry them out for himself.
I anticipated as much.
In the past 500 years, Professor, those who have crossed my path have all died, and some not pleasantly. Come. Here. Oh, your will is strong. Then I will come to you. More medicine, Professor.
More effective than both pain, Count.
Indeed. We will meet again.
God, Professor, what was that?
A revolver shot. It came as a relief. That at least is something human.
Who broke the mirror?
I would
Sorry
tell
if
you.
I startled you. I saw that infernal banner on the side of the house and I couldn't resist a shot.
Did you hit it?
Why,
The bullet was never made, my friends, that could harm that bat. My weapons are stronger.
What do you mean?
Dracula has been here.
Good God.
How do you get in?
You ask how's the vampire king? During the hours of the night, the hours that are his, comes and goes. As a Vin, my friends, as he pleases. He came to kill me, but I possess a power stronger than his.
What power?
I expected an attack. I have with me the cross. He came. I proved his case if it needed proof. His mirror does not reflect its man that was. It casts no shadow. See, I cut my finger. It practically left as the blood. But before the sacred cross, it fled.
Lucy mustn't know.
Lucy knows more than you think.
How can she? If she knew, she'd tell me.
As these attacks continue, she becomes more and more under his power. There's a mystic link between them. Oh, it is hard to bear, but we must face it. It may already be that he can learn what passes through her mind. So Miss Lucy must not be told of the earth boxes. For he may learn whatever she knows.
But that would mean that Lucy is in collusion with this creature. That's impossible.
No, Miss Lucy, you must not.
Lucy, what's in the paper that's upset you?
Read it, John.
No, Harker, no.
Read it.
The Hampstead Horror. Further attacks on small children committed after dark by a strange, mysterious woman in Hampstead are reported today. Further attacks on small children committed after dark by a strange and mysterious woman. Narratives of 3 small girls, all under 10 years of age, tallying essential details. Each girl speaks of a woman in white who gave them chocolates and enticed them to a secluded corner, and dabbed at them slightly in the throat.
Go on.
The wounds are trivial. The children have suffered no other harm and do not seem to have been frightened. Indeed, one small girl told her mother she hoped she might see the beautiful woman again.
So soon, so soon.
You know what has been happening, Lucy?
Professor Van Helsing knows too, Lucy. And she knows how to protect you.
Is it not too late?
No, Miss Lucy, it is not too late.
It's poor, innocent children.
You think Count Dracula...
Not threatening!
You think the vampire has done this too.
Of course. In the form of a woman. Who else could it be?
It is worse. Far worse.
Worse? What do you mean?
Miss Lucy knows.
The woman in white is Mina.
Mina? But she's dead, Lucy.
She has joined the master.
Oh, God, have pity on us all.
My dear Miss Lucy, I will not ask you how you know. After tonight, no more little children will meet this woman in white. She will remain at rest in the tomb where you laid her. And her soul, released from this horror, will be with God.
Tell me how.
Do not ask me.
Professor, if you can save Mina's soul after death, can you save mine?
Oh, Lucy!
I will save you. In God's name I swear it. He has given me assignment in this room tonight.
And promise me one thing. Whatever you plan to do, whatever you know, do not tell me. Even if I beg you to, swear to me now. Well, I'm yours. Well, I'm myself. Promise it.
I promise it.
No, no, John, you mustn't kiss me. Promise that you never will. Even if I beg you to.
I promise.
Miss Lucy, from tonight on, one of us will be awake. All night in this room, with your door open.
You are so good.
Yes. Your maid will be with you. Doctor, rub these over the window and especially above the lock. See, I've made this wreath for you. If you wear this, those dreams cannot come to you. Swear to me that you will not take these off.
I promise.
Swear it on the cross.
I swear it.
What is it?
It's Renfield, ma'am.
Why haven't you got him locked up?
Because he's barred himself in, sir. He got hold of one of the patients. He had her by the throat.
Ah, human blood now. Come, Stewart, come, Harper.
I should have had him sent away.
John! Don't you leave me too.
Of course I won't, Miss Lucy. It's only a quarrel among the patients. Mr. Harper will be back soon. Oh, here, Miss Lucy. These evil-smelling flowers have made you faint. It is so close, madam. A little air. What is it?
Anybody wants my job, ma'am, can have it.
So what's the matter?
I knows what I knows, and what I seen I saw. And I ops by the first train out. I don't ask for no wages and a lieu and notice.
There's Renfield.
If you ask me, I say he's paying a little visit to L.
You've let him escape again.
Look here, sir. Haven't, so to speak, resigned. I don't have to put up with any more from any of you. What a man can't help, he can't help, and that's that.
Can't you see, ma'am, that Dr. Seward is not well? Will you desert him when he needs all the help he can get?
Putting it that way, ma'am, I ain't a man to run under fire, but I'm getting sick and tired of being told off. Oh, it ain't my fault.
We don't blame you. No bolts or bars could hold Renfield.
Now, ma'am, you're talking sense. I had him in a straitjacket this time. Nearly all yesterday I worked at clamping the bars across the window. Now I find them bars pulled apart like they was made of cheese, and him gone.
Then try to find him.
Find him? Find him? I can't chase him up and down the wall. I ain't no bloody mountain goat.
The same mocks us. A few hours after he finds out what we know and what we have done, he comes here and drags that poor creature of his to himself.
What can the vampire want with Renfield?
Renfield is serving an apprenticeship to join the Vampire King after his death.
What does Renfield matter? If we are beaten, then there is no God.
We dare not despair, Seward.
But to figure out in advance what anyone would do who got on his track.
I thought we had him when we broke into Carfax and found those 2 earth boxes there. And when we found 1 box in each of the Forzer houses. And when I pried open the lid on the 6th box, I was sure we would find him there helpless.
Empty.
An empty packing case left as a blind.
But he only brought 6 on his plane, so there can only be 1 left.
Only 1, but hidden where we can never find it. And now we've put him on his guard.
Yes. It's not half an hour till sunrise. Poor John has been sitting up with Lucy for 9 hours. She'll be safe at dawn and he can get some sleep. If anyone can sleep in this house.
Whoever else sleeps who does not sleep. Miss Lucy will sleep at dawn.
Another horror?
Oh, you've noticed how she keeps awake by night and sleeps by day.
Is that part of the change?
Of course. And sometimes, the looks that comes into her face.
Don't, for God's sake. I can't bear it.
We must face it, for her sake.
But how could it have got at her with the wolfsbane cross around her neck? Suggestion conveyed from the monster?
Yes. He must have impelled the maid to take away the cross into Wolfsbane and to open the window. I should have foreseen that.
Don't blame yourself. The devil's more cunning than we are. Yet Lucy seems better. Until this last attack, she's always been exhausted. But at sunset last night when she woke up after sleeping all day.
There was blood in her cheeks again.
Yes, thank God.
My poor friend. Where does that blood come from?
What do you suggest now? What
Is not 5:30 in the morning a strange hour for men who aren't crazy to be up and about?
You may still get help from the things that is still half human. Renfield,
He's after me. He's going to kill me!
help us, Renfield, and we'll save you.
You poor puny woman! You measure your brains against his! You don't know what you're dealing with! You, a thick-headed Dutchman, and a fool of an alienist, and a young cub of a boy! Why not even all the soldiers and police in London could stop the master from doing as he likes?
But God can stop him.
God permits evil? Why does he do that if he is good? Tell me that.
How did you escape through those iron bars?
Madmen have great strength, Doctor.
Come, Renfield. We know you didn't wrench those bars apart yourself.
No, I didn't. I wanted them there. I'd hoped they'd keep him out. He did it, and then he called to me, and I had to come. The master is angry. He promised me eternal life and live things, big ones, not flies and spiders, and blood to drink. Always blood. I must obey him, but I don't want to be like him. I am mad, I know, and bad too, for I've taken lives, but they were only little lives. I wouldn't like a human life.
Oh, John, I'm feeling better already.
And why did I seek to betray him? Betray the devil? For you. I said I'd serve the devil, but I didn't serve him honestly. I don't like women with no blood in them. And yet I warned you and made him angry. And now perhaps you will kill me. And there'll be no more live things. There'll be no more blood!
Lucy, you mustn't mind that poor crazed creature.
I don't. He amuses me.
Lucy, how can you, the poor devil? Thank God, it'll soon be dawn now.
Dawn, the ebb tide of life. I hate the dawn. How can people like daylight? At night, I'm really alive. Night was made to enjoy life and love. Come to me, me, John, my own John.
Lucy, I'm so happy you're better and stronger.
I've never been so well, so full of vitality. I was only a poor, washed-out, pale creature. There was no reason why you should love me. But there is now.
I worship you.
Then tell me something. If you love me, you'll tell me. Now, don't turn away from me again.
You made me promise not to tell you anything.
Oh, but I release you from your promise. There now. What were you and Father and that funny professor doing all day?
I can't tell you. I promise.
You say you love me, but you don't trust me.
I trust you with my life, my soul.
Then prove it. What were you doing over there in Carfax with that hammer and that horrible iron stake? You don't think I'm asking you because I'm just trying to find out whether you really love me. So you try to hide your schemes and your plots. Afraid I'd give them away, are you? You fool! Whatever he wants to know, he finds out for himself. He knows what you do. He knows what you think. He knows everything.
Lucy!
My dear, I'm sorry. Oh, let me kiss away the tears.
No, you mustn't kiss me. You made me promise not to let you kiss me.
But you don't know why I said that, John Martin. It's because I love you so much. And I knew if I were to kiss you, you've always thought me cold. But I've blood in my veins. Hot blood, my John. I'm not afraid now. Come, will you make me say it?
Lucy, I don't understand you.
I love you. I want you. Come to me, my darling. I want you.
Lucy.
Harker, Harker, save yourself! I warned you, my poor friend. Thank God, thank God.
Don't come to me, John. I'm unclean.
My darling. In my eyes, you're purity itself.
You love her, and in love there's truth. She is pure, and the evil things that has entered her shall be rooted out.
You said you could save Mina's soul.
Mina's soul is in heaven.
Tell me how.
It is your right to know now. I entered her tomb. I pried open the coffin. I found her sleeping there, but not dead, not truly dead. There was blood in her cheeks. A drop of blood like a red ruby in the corner of her mouth. With a stake and hammer I struck to the heart. A scream, a convulsion, and then was a look of peace that came into her face. Then with God's help I had made her truly dead.
Professor, if I die, swear to me that you will do this to my body.
It shall be done.
I swear it.
And I.
My lover, my father, and my dear friend have sworn to save my soul. And now I am done with life. I can no longer live on to become what you know.
No, no, Miss Lucy. By all that you hold sacred, you must not even think of suicide. That would put you under his power forever.
I cannot face this horror that I'm becoming.
Then we will find this thing that has followed your life and destroy him and send his soul to burning hell. That's to be done by my hand.
No, you must destroy him if you can, but with pity in your hearts, not rage and vengeance. That poor soul who has done so much evil needs our prayers more than any others.
No, you cannot ask me to forgive.
Perhaps I, too, will need your prayers and your pity.
Miss Lucy, now, while you are yourself, help me.
Tell me how. No, please, you mustn't tell me anything.
Each time that white face, those red eyes came, you were pale, exhausted afterwards. But that last time
he came, he said I was his bride. He would seal me to him for the centuries to come.
And then?
Then, please, I can't.
But you must.
You must, Lucy.
Last time, he scratched open one of his veins and pressed my mouth down to it. He called it a mystic sacrament. He made me drink. Please, I can't tell you no more.
I warned you, my poor friend. I broke in when I heard the dogs howling.
The dogs? Then the werewolf is about.
And he is pursuing Renfield.
God, we must do something.
And at once. I shall leave Renfield here as I did Miss Lucy. If that thing appears, we three will bar the 2 doors and the window.
Bar against that?
Yes, even against that. for which all holds a sacred cross.
And then?
And then I do not know. It will be horrible, for we do not know his full powers. But this I know. There is 8 minutes until sunrise. The power of all evil ceases with the coming of day. His 6 box is his only refuge. If we can keep him here till daybreak, he must collapse. And the stake and hammer are ready. He's here. Come quickly.
Oh, no. No, 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 no!
But you must, man, and this may save your soul as well as your life.
No, don't leave me alone! Don't leave me alone! Master. Master, I didn't say anything. I told him nothing. I'm loyal to you. I'm your slave, your dog. For the love of God, don't kill me. Punish me, torture me, I deserve it, but don't kill me. I can't face God with all those lies on my conscience, all that blood on my hands.
Did I not promise you that you should come to me at your death and receive centuries of life and power over the bodies and souls of others?
Yes, yes, Master, I want lives, I want blood, but I didn't want human life.
You betrayed me. You sought to warn my destined bride against me. My friends, I regret I was not present to receive your calls at my house.
4 minutes until sunrise.
Your watch is correct, Professor.
Your life and death has reached its end.
By God's mercy.
Its end? Not yet, Professor. I still have more than 3 minutes to add to my 500 years.
And 3 minutes from now, you'll be in hell, where 1,000 years of agony will not bring you 1 second near the end of your punishment.
Silence, Hawker. Miss Lizzie forbade this. She asked for prayer and for pity. Make your peace with God, men it was. We are not your judges. We know not how this curse may have come upon you.
You fools! You think with your crosses, your wolfsbane, you can kill me! Me, the king of my kind! You shall see. 5 of my earth boxes you have polluted. Have you found the 6th?
You cannot reach your 6th refuge now. Take your true form of wolf if you will. Your fangs may rend us, but we have all sworn to keep you here. For 2 minutes and a half, but you must collapse, and we can make an end.
You keep me. Fools, listen and let my words ring in your ears all your lives and torture you on your deathbeds. I go to sleep in my box for 100 years. You have accomplished that much against me, Van Helsing. But in a century, I shall wake and call my destined bride to my side. My Lucy, my queen. I have other brides of old times who await me in their vaults in Transylvania, but I shall set her above them all.
If you should escape, we know how to save Lucy's soul, if not her life.
Ah, yes, the stake. But only if she dies by day. I shall see that she dies by night. She shall come to an earth box of mine at her death and await a master to do to her what you did to my Mina Van Helsing. You must find her body, and that you will not.
Then she shall die by day.
You will kill her. You lack the courage, you poor rat of flesh and blood.
Silence, John. He is doomed. This is his revenge. He hopes to trouble us afterwards.
30 seconds.
I thank you again for reminding me the time.
Parker opens the window. That is the east. The sun will rise beyond the meadows there.
The clouds are coloring.
God's daybreak.
A pleasant task you have set yourself, Mr. Harker.
10 seconds. Be ready when he collapses.
The sun, the stake, Professor, the stake. Hold him, Doctor. I've got him. Up the chimney as a bat. You heard what he said.
God will not permit it. What's to be done now, Van Helsing?
People trick Renfield into showing us. Dare we leave Renfield here on Earth to become a slave when he dies?
But he's human. We can't do murder.
I'll do it if you won't, Doctor.
Doctor, go to your office to get some painless drug.
You have to me. They're going to kill me. Master, save me! Save me! I am coming to you!
Yeah, show us the way. Where does that passage go?
I never knew there was a passage.
Oh, that devil has a combination. People break in somehow. Harker, here's the hammer.
These stairs go down forever.
May God protect us.
Is Harker there?
He's gone for a lantern.
I've got to the bottom.
Be careful, I'm right behind you.
What can this place be?
It seems an old vault.
Ah!
What is it? Oh, where are you, man?
Sorry, I'm all right. A rat ran across my foot.
Where are you? What is this place?
We can't see.
This place smells horribly of bats.
Has an animal smell, like the lair of a wolf.
That's what it is.
There's absolutely nothing here.
Here's another passage.
I thought so. That must lead to Carfax. His 6 earth box is hidden somewhere here.
And the monster in it.
You can't be sure. Renfield!
Where is he?
Over there somewhere. Even if Renfield knew about this place, that doesn't prove the vampire's here.
It's the vampire's life or yours. Look at him, man, look at him. He knows.
I know nothing! Let me go, I say!
He was stretched here, but he wouldn't let me drag him back. Ah, here it is. Quick, that stake.
What a horrible undead thing he is lying there.
Let me drive it in deep.
It's over the heart.
Yes.
See his face now. It's a look of peace.
He's crumbling away.
Thank God. We're free!
Father! John!
Lucy!
Dust to dust, ashes to ashes. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. Just a word before you go. We hope the memories of Renfield and Dracula don't give you bad dreams, so just a word of reassurance. When you go home tonight and the lights have been turned out and you dread to see a face at the window, why, just pull yourself together and remember that after all, there are such things.